This event about safeguarding our democratic norms and institutions aligns very well with the values of the McCarthy Center and the University of San Francisco. We promote ethical public leadership, diversity and inclusion, and social justice through action and reflection. So please enjoy the events of today. I hope that if there's any need to certainly let someone here at USF know. We want to make sure this is a terrific event, but I know we'll be looking at the schedule and looking at everything that was done today. And thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Shirley. My name is Ian Bassin. I am the founder and executive director of Protect Democracy. I wish I was not. I am in that role as the head of a new nonpartisan nonprofit dedicated to preventing our democracy from declining into a more authoritarian form of government, because we are in a very scary and dangerous moment in global history. In a couple of weeks, Jair Bolsonaro is likely to be elected the president of Brazil, which will mean that in 3 of the world's largest democracies, extreme autocratic leaders have taken the largest and highest positions of government in the United States, in India, and in Brazil. That is part of what motivated us in late 2016 to form a bipartisan organization dedicated to learning the lessons of what has been happening around the world causing this moment, to prevent it from happening here in the United States. You're going to hear later today from one of our earliest advisors on our board of advisors, a scholar by the name of Yasha Miller. Early in our formation, I asked Yasha, what is it, given that Yasha has studied the decline of democracy around the world, that has made the difference between countries that have survived these challenging moments and those that have not? And he said, well, typically, in countries that are facing threat to their democracy, there's a moment when the average citizen licks their thumb and puts it to feel which way the wind is blowing. And if at that moment everybody is running to protest, say at Dulles or JFK, it's a good sign that your country is going to survive that challenge to your democracy. But if, on the other hand, that moment comes that people pull down their window shades and lock their doors and stop talking about politics, it's a very dangerous sign that you may not. And I remember when he said that to me, what it conjured in my memory from early in my youth, because I'm not that old, was late 1989. Some of you may remember a very famous moment as communism was collapsing in Eastern Europe in Bucharest, where the totalitarian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu gets up in front of what is now known as Revolutionary Square in Bucharest to address the population in Romania, which is going through sort of the tumult of the late 80s as communism was collapsing. And for 25 years, Ceausescu had ruled Romania with an iron fist and expected that the population of Romania would always be subservient and look to him as a guiding and popular hand. And he walks out after there had been some rumblings of dissent out in the country of Romania onto a balcony above the big town square in the middle of Bucharest, sort of the way the Pope does in front of the Vatican. And he walks out and he begins to speak in front of a crowd that has been deliberately assembled by the Communist Party to be supportive and reaffirm Ceausescu's rule. It's got signs and posters of him and pictures and all sorts of crafted propaganda. And in the middle of his speech, a single person in the crowd begins to boo. And if you remember watching this on television, as soon as one person booed, which hadn't happened in 25 years, a second person booed. And Ceausescu didn't know what to do. And you could see the look on his face as he began to put his hand up and say, no, people, it's okay, calm down, we're going to do this. Because he never actually faced people asserting their own power in Romanian society of the late 20th century. His wife, even at one point, Elena, tries to grab the microphone and tell people to calm down. And he's so flustered, he turns to her and says, shh, shut up. And then more people do. And in front of the eyes of all the Romanian people, the emperor was shown cabinet clothes. And within days, the Ceausescus were escorted out of the country on a helicopter and the totalitarian regime fell. And the reason that moment came to mind as Yasha was telling me this is because it was a sign that if we were to survive this moment, and thankfully we are far from the state that Romania was in the 1980s, hopefully we will never get there, because if we were to survive survive this moment, if we're ever to get to a place like that, it's because individual people in this country do what it took 25 years in Romania to do, which is simply stand up and raise a voice. And so I wanted to start today by pointing out that although today's conference is called Waging Democracy, and we are going to be talking about democracy, and there are a lot of wonderful experts who are going to come up here and share a lot of the research and expertise they've been doing on democracy. The real thing that's happening today is we are actually doing this as a verb. We, you, by being here, are waging democracy. You're doing what the person in Revolutionary Square and Bucharest did when they moved. Since we formed this organization, I'll talk more about it the rest of the day, and people have asked me, what can I do to be a part of the solution? And the answer is, you're here. You're doing it. This is what democracy looks like. So I want to thank Shirley and the University of San Francisco for hosting us. I want to thank Abby and the JCRC for putting this together. Protect Democracy is honored to be listed as a co-host, but truly the amazing staff at the JCRC has done all of this with the folks at the University of San Francisco. They've done an incredible job. And what the JCRC does every day is they create the conditions that allow us to stand up and wage democracy. They are the sinews of what make us a healthy democracy and what make me confident that we will survive this moment. I look forward to talking about the challenges ahead and how we do that together. So thank you very much, all of us, all of you for being here.
Good morning, everybody. It is a really early moment on a Sunday morning, and I'm just so grateful that so many people were willing to come out and have this day with us and wage democracy. I'm Abby Porth. I'm the Executive Director of the Jewish Community Relations Council. And before I do anything else, I just want to acknowledge Jessica Trubowicz, who's our Public Policy Director, who's done an absolutely smashing job in making today a success, along with so many others on our team, Holly Barron, Karen Siller, our whole team's here, and I'm just so grateful to everybody. I've been asked why JCRC is putting on this event, and you've seen, I think you saw, who our co-sponsors were. It's been a remarkable coalition from the secular and civic communities along with the Jewish community. The reason we're doing this event is because our history, the Jewish community's history, has taught us that we're safest only when we live in a robust democracy and where there is cohesion in civil society. And when our democracy is fraying, and when civil society is starting to come apart, and when neighbors don't know one another, it isn't good for the Jews, and it isn't good for any other vulnerable or minority population in this country or anywhere else. And these are really troubling times that we're living in. Never before have we seen across the globe such a rise in authoritarianism. Relatedly, never before has this earth seen such a massive amount of human migration. In our country, we're dealing with the impact of xenophobia, both in rhetoric and in policies, something that so many of our communities have to contend with. We're deeply concerned about the health and vitality of our democratic freedoms, the freedom of press, freedom of speech, individual liberty, a free press, fair elections, separate powers among our three branches of government, equal access to voting, civil discourse from across the aisle, and decency in Congress. We recognize that minority communities, including our Jewish community, have to live in this community and will only be able to do so in a healthy way when there is those strong democratic freedoms and open civil society. And that's where we all come in. So as Ian said, today we're focused on having a very thoughtful conversation. We're hoping that because we have structured today as a conversation with people from across the political aisle, that we will each have a moment to learn something new, to be inspired by some new ideas, hopefully be a little bit uncomfortable about something we might hear and learn from it. The diversity of opinions that we will hear from today is really reflected in the diversity of our chairs for today. So I want to thank Dan Schnorr, who's a professor at the University of Southern California's Annenberg School of Communications and the University of California, Berkeley's Institute of Government Studies. He'll be with us in a little bit. Dan is the director of the California Influencers Project, which is a statewide program through the McClatchy News Service, in which 60 of the state's experts in politics, policy, government, and civil society discuss the 2018 campaign, and it'll go through the end of this year. I want to welcome and thank Leslie Katz, who's a lawyer at the firm of Greenberg Traurig. She focuses on governmental law and policy, including energy, telecommunications, and other emerging technologies. She's also a former member of the Board of Supervisors for the City and County of San Francisco, and she's very active in the Democratic Party here in the state. And I also want to thank and acknowledge Kristen Olson, who I know is here with us and already early this morning, and she's an elected official serving on the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors. Previously, she served Stanislaus and San Joaquin counties in the California State Assembly, where she was minority leader, and she's been active with the Republican Party. We couldn't have put on today's conference had it not been for key, generous supporters who are making possible JCRC's democracy initiative. And so if you see these folks in the room, I just hope you'll help me to thank the Lisa and Douglas Goldman Fund, the John and Marsha Goldman Foundation, and the Lauder Family Fund. And this day, very specifically, has been brought to all of you by JCRC, along with our partners at the Protect Democracy Project, the University of San Francisco, Leo McCarthy Center for Public Service and the Common Good, and the Commonwealth Club. And you'll be hearing from Gloria Duffy soon as well. Finally, I just really want to acknowledge all of our supporters and co-sponsors. So if you'll help me when I'm done with this list to give a round of applause to the Jewish Community Federation and Endowment Fund, San Francisco State University, the Brennan Center for Justice at the New York University School of Law, Catholic Charities San Francisco, Congregation Emmanuel, the San Francisco Human Rights Commission, Share of Israel, United Religions Initiative, Ecology, the Jewish Community Center of San Francisco, the Peninsula JCC, National Council of Jewish Women, the ACLU of Northern California, the Anti-Defamation League, the San Francisco Interfaith Council, the San Francisco Department on the Status of Women, the Office of the Assessor Recorder of San Francisco, JANG, the Jewish News of Northern California, KQED, which is our NPR affiliate, and the San Francisco Chronicle. And then finally, and you'll see this in your books, today also couldn't have been possible without the very generous financial support of Fox Rothschild, Simon and Bancroft, the Morrison and Forrester Foundation, Barnes and Thornburg, the Zander family, and the Lauder family. And most of all, today could not be possible without all of you here. So thank you to each of you for spending the day with us. And I want to welcome onto the stage our panelists for our first meaty discussion of the day.